Aeon 2, close back. So, Dan Clark Audio. If you're formerly Mr. He really should go for it and be like the artist formerly known as Mr. Speakers, just with the symbol and everything. But, so Dan Clark Audio finally released the Aeon 2. And I had high hopes for this because this came out not very long ago. This is the Dan Clark Audio, no, I'm sorry, Drop plus Dan Clark Audio Aeon Open X. That whole thing is the name of these headphones, by the way. In fact, in the description, Zeos, make sure you write that whole thing out so people understand which link in the description is for these. And if you recall, and it's been a while since I've heard the original Aeons, but I didn't like them. They were expensive, and they didn't deliver anything beyond, like, sound. They make sound. And when these appeared, and Drop sent them to me, I was like, oh, these do much more than sound. Oh, I actually enjoy this. I'm enjoying these. And it was like a head explosion. These are still on Drop. They're just not in stock currently. And I hope they come back because these are amazing. It's like motorboats going by outside. But this is what Dan Clark allows Drop to sell. And this is what he sells, or Apos sells. Apos now carries all of Mr. Speaker's stuff, which is super cool because they sell Stacks and Mr. Speaker's stuff. So that's like a one-stop shop for just throwing away all your money. Throw away all your money in audio at apos.audio. It's not aposaudio.com. There's no com. It's just Apos Audio. So, I don't know how you do that. How do I get it? How do I get Zeos Audio? These are, at least, I was kind of worried. And I know these are an open back and these are the closed back version. There is an open and closed back version. It's kind of hard to compare directly, but there is enough of a difference between these two that it's not just a clone. Usually when Drop comes out with something, it's like, well, this is the Drop version. It's basically a clone of the really expensive version, and it's just as good. And I'm going to put a footnote that says, I absolutely enjoy the Open X. And X Open, Open X, Open X. But there is something about these Aeon 2s that is not just, it's just closed. And I don't know why this is, but Dan Clark, since the dawn of his creations as a headphone engineer, call him that, right? Has always just managed to do something more magical with closebacks. It just is a thing. The only headphones, I mean, there's only an Ether 2 open. I have the Ether C Flows closed, non-updated, not 1.1. I like the ones with the different pads. But every time I've got like a pair of the headphones and it's a closed back and an open back, I listen to the open back and I'm like, oh, that's okay. And then the closed back comes in and I think it adds that tuning ability for whatever you're doing on the backstop or the way the driver's designed. And the closed back is always just this bit more. It's like, And even with the Aeons, which I wasn't really sold on the Aeons. I was like, you know what? These are, but the closed one is still less than the And so that's why I was shocked a bit when I got these, and I fucking loved them because they're an open back. And I'm like, is this it? Is this the dawn of making open backs better than closed backs? Which should be the case. It should be the case. But alas, and you know, this isn't, again, a direct comparison. These. Fuck these. I'm gonna go back to the Gungrave OST, the Maverick, powering off 789. I swapped the DAC out with that Musician Pegasus R2R DAC because it's here and I can't review it till July because they're fixing an internal issue with manufacturing. So it's just fuck it, $1,100 DAC, throw it in there. I can't even link to that. That's terrifying. But I'll swap tracks. Oh, Amber Rubarth. Oh, Amber Rubarth. Good mystery from Amber Rubarth is just.
Keep quiet. Don't stop. That's when they'll start.
One of the best recorded albums ever in the history of mankind, womankind, peoplekind, is Amber Rubarth, Sessions from the 17th Ward. So go look that up. These, it used to be, the notion was, oh, Ether C's or Ether C Flow, you don't need those because you have the Aeons. In the original Aeons, that was not the fucking case. It was just hilarious to even consider it. The Aeon 2s, however, they are way closer to making that like concept a reality. They perform very well. Like I made my voice change just now to do that, so it was like a creepy, like very well. Carbon fiber, plastic, but like it's not quite Asuka red. It's more like a muted, I don't know. It's like a burnt umber red, and I like it. It gives it some character. I like color in headphones. I just look, the whole bottom row there is wood and different color variations of paint, and that's just like whatever, black and silver. So as much as these were sort of blue, these are like And then we have to look at the rest of it, because like I have those, but you know what those don't do? They don't do this. They don't fold and collapse into a little, like that's a palm-sized audiophile $900 headphone. Hold on, I'm checking. Yeah, currently APOS has it right now for $900, and you could choose either connector. The owner who sent this to me, this wasn't sent to me by APOS, it was sent to me by a user. Sent it to me with both cables, and I've currently got it hooked up, balanced obviously, because why wouldn't you? If you can do, I love the mechanism here. It's such a simple thing. It's hinge, and it goes up and it goes down, and that allows it to fit, instead of having this bag, which is what the Open X come in, you can fit it in this bag. It's a much tinier bag. Look at this, a small thing, because it literally tucks up and fits in here, and that's, I know exactly who he's promoting these to. He wants these to be bought by people who travel, because that's you will not find, like, even the Diana from Abyss has like a giant fucking rucksack it comes with dual zippers. So it's not really portable friendly as much as it is just smaller. This, with that system, is portable friendly. That no one asked, I guarantee you no one asked Mr. Speakers to hey, can you make it so this folds and gets smaller? No. He just knows he wants people that have the headphones to be able to travel with them. And especially with closed. And can we point out the fact that they're ear-shaped holes, which I am a huge proponent of making headphones that fit the human head. I know a lot of companies are against that for reasons. Must be a car show somewhere. And can we talk? We have to. I'm all over the place today. All right, I haven't done a review in like 7 days. I'm going to be honest with you. I took a big break after I built that buffer up. These are comfortable in a way that most headphones are not. Most headphones you can get bigger pads, but they're still just round and they're not that deep. And these are deep D pads that go all the way. They even get like, you could have like earrings in. I don't currently. DMS's ears would probably fit in here comfortably, even with the big gauges. And they clamp super linear because it's literally, the structure is just two wires. Like, I still don't know how he could manage to get the wires to behave, because that seems like it would be difficult. Your adjustment is just these things slide up and down. And I did have to tighten one of these. This is someone else's set, so they've been using them. But I did have to tighten that screw, and that screw squeezes this together and allows it to slide up and down. And you could slide it literally just up, ruin the headphones if you wanted to. And they just adjust perfectly. You can see the little silicones in there, whatever it is. This is a nice thick leather strap. Rests on your head. A comfort strap that actually is comfortable. I think you could use these on a plane. If you were willing, because again, they fold and they go into a little pouch. But yeah, on an airplane, it would be a little bit more difficult to like store them in a hurry. I mean, they'll fold down, but like I don't think you could wear these around your neck without feeling like you're in a car crash safety thing. I'm like, hi. So, but oh my word, comfort. So, I know we're only like 7 minutes into this review, but let's review already what we know. They're very pretty. I love the carbon fiber. I love the paint. I love this mechanism. They're well built. They're super fucking comfortable. And then we get to the sound, which I've I tease sound a lot in this channel. I realize because I rewatch the videos that I'm like, I get to like the 30-minute mark. I'm like, wait, did I say how those things sound? Because I don't really expect you to like, no one should listen to the words describing how good linguine is and then understand how good the linguine is. Because think about that. So your mom made mac and cheese. It was really good. Describe it. You've got 12 minutes. And you just sit there and have someone try to describe how macaroni and cheese taste. In fact, in the comments of this video, because I always like to keep it fresh, describe the best meal you've ever had. I don't care what it was, but you have I think you have like 15,000 words you can use in the comments. Let's see if you can describe for me properly how the best meal of your life tasted. Not how it was laid out, but the whole experience of it. How palpable. So that's me trying to explain how headphones sound. It's not easy. And so I end up with a lot of this, and I'm like, oh, and then descriptions about cars and food, and I digress. I can't wait to read those comments, by the way. It's going to make me very, very hungry. Space Time from Toonami. I could tell this is not well recorded. Like this first bit is like there's a little bit of crunchiness in it. It's not the headphones, it's the track. These closebacks have more soundstage than these openbacks. And they're basically the same headphone as far as layout. So you tell me how Dan Clark do that, please. Because when I put these on, and I know it's an open X and it's tuned differently, but those are like very good sounding, and they give you like this nice ball around you. This ball for this headphone is just like that much bigger. And because they're closed back, they don't let any noise in. I could have my air conditioner running. I don't have it running, but I could have it running and it wouldn't bother me. Whereas on this, it would slightly bother me. And all the finite little details just are wiggling into my brain. And the low end, oh, we should talk about the low end. Well, that's up to you. The low end doesn't... I have it's a wonderful design, but it makes me, Zeos, the person who has to review this, very, very uneasy. You see, as much as Dan Clark tunes these, you have the ability also to tune these, because they come like that. That's just the raw driver. You see it? You can see the vent holes for the actual planar. Let's jam your fingers in there. It's always what you want to do. But it comes with, and this is the same with the Aeon OpenX, it's the same it was with the original Aeon, it comes with several options that you can stuff into your ear cups. And it's not just nothing or 1, 2, 3. It's nothing, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3. That's like 6 headphones I have to review. Because every one of these is a different thickness. This is a very thin piece of foam, just a thin foam. And I had that in there for a while just to keep my ear from touching the driver, and it made a little bit of sound difference. Then there's this white foam, which is very nice and flexible, but thick. And this will sort of trap, this will actually reduce the low end, because the low end with nothing in there is like, wah. And then there's these black ones, which feel like they belong in the garden supply, because they're just rough. So at some point, I've had 4 different combinations in these headphones to try to figure out what I like the most. And I don't know yet, because every track and everything and every way I feel every day is different. So I'll pick up the headphone and go, okay, let's try with nothing in it. Let's go right back to Toonami Space Time, FLAC. Now the low end is like reverberation master race. It's just... But it's a little distracting. And I know in other songs that are not, like, I could totally rock these with no tuning inside right now. Because you let, like, everything comes through, we're getting the full force. All right, let's okay. So now let's go. I had just the black ones in. Let's just do the white ones. They just slop in here. That's a word, right? Something can slop. You just sort of push them in there, and you push them down, and you're done. That's it. We're done. Now you do the next one. Tightens up the low end a lot. Maybe the treble is just a little bit reduced, and I kind of miss it. I feel like if does Dan Clark sell a tuning kit for every other headphone? Because I feel like he could make 60, 70 bucks if he just sold this material, this material, this material, this material, all these materials. Actually, these have even thicker foam. Like this is a completely different size than this. But if you could just sell a kit of like 5 different densities in big, squares, and we could all cut them to shape, I think you could fix a lot of issues with a lot of headphones. Does anyone make that kit? Spoiler alert, someone needs to make that kit and make money. Because it's just foam. You cut into squares and you can sell it for 50, 60 bucks. And then people could go on forums and be like, I recommend the number 2 sheet with the number 4 filter over it to sort of... It's a build your own headphone tuning kit. And I love that. I really do. If I own these, if these were just like, ignore that doesn't exist. I don't have a wall of headphones. I spent my $800, $900 on these, and I'm going to spend, you'd have to spend probably 2 days. I was gonna say a day or 2, with each tuning option. And you'd have to listen to very similar tracks. You'd have to be in a similar mood, and you have to really feel it out. Because it's not just like it comes to you. It's not like, I put this on there, it's perfect. You're going to find something that's lacking. Like these white ones definitely smooth out that low end. But at the same time, they're reducing the highs a little bit too much, so we're going to pull those out. And I think if you really, back to what I was trying to say like 5 minutes ago, I almost want to take these and just cut a little square out of the middle. Just pop a hole. It'll make that sound. And this way, some of those highs would still get in, but the overall air pressure would change for the low end to be smoother. Like, there's so many... He's taken the art of tuning a headphone, which usually is reserved for the people making the headphone. If you ever, like the Beyerdynamic Tigers, like I love the Beyerdynamic Tigers. They're like $170, $180, $200, whatever the hell they went to. But you take that pad off, and all of a sudden you realize that foam that was in the middle, that wasn't part of the pad. There's layers of tuning foam on top of the driver to keep you from dying, because Beyerdynamic realized people seem to be dying from our stuff. And what Mr. Speakers has done, what Dan Clark Audio has done, is basically say, you know what? We don't know what's best for you. Figure out what's best for you on your own. And it's a good concept. It's absolutely a good concept, because what I think might be too much low end or too much wonk in the low end can be fixed. In fact, I wonder if I put this in there, if I could fold, I can't fold it. You'd have to start getting scissors out and cutting things. I think you should be able to order this. I didn't check. I should go check. If you could order another of these kits for like a reasonable amount of money, and then you could really start experimenting. But the overall, what you have as a base is fan-fucking-tastic. You have a non-boring, closed-back, detailed, wide-sounding headphone that competes basically with last-gen Ether C flows, and is probably more comfortable by default because of the shape, and lighter. Like, these are some of the, like, of all the closebacks in all the world, these are probably some of them, once you get that fit right, and then the weight is just like, it's carbon fiber here for a reason. These are amazing. These are really good headphones. I also want to point out that I'm using the stock cable, not because I can't use another one. This is the Heart Audio has made me the ugliest cable. Specifically, he was like, I want to show you how ugly we can make a cable. So he, went with the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, like, look for this whole thing. With 3D. So I could have used it, but honestly, this is a nice cable. Like, you don't get to do that very often. Like, I had one of those Moon Audio, the silver dragon cables, and it was like an antenna from a 1980s CB radio, and it was like stiff as hell. Look at this. Fabric, not tight. It's actually soft and squishable. Like, there's definitely a smaller wire on the inside, and they wrap it in something, and then they put this fabric over it. It's not heavy, but it's not light. I hate when a cable's extra light. Like, there's no mass to it. It feels bad. This, look. I just caught the camera. This has girth. It's certainly thick, but it doesn't feel and then the split is a fucking metal box that they've screwed together with tiny screws, but it doesn't weigh a lot. Like a lot of headphone cables that are like, oh, super high end, I don't like them. Even Periapt has that like break in the middle, that like thing that's just giant and doesn't need to be that giant. This is rather subdued. And then these are nice and long, and the connectors are obviously the Mr. Speakers connectors, which I guess they're cool. There wasn't many headphones that ever used this before. These were chosen. And I get, like, there's 4 conductors in there. You could go, if there was ever like a dual, if I ever built a headphone and I did like a dual driver and I had to have a special amp and it had like 4 conductors to each side, those are the connectors you have to use. This is a whole package. The whole Aeon 2 is like a whole package of, like, you could feel it with me, right? You could feel it's like that, like, look, I got a certificate of authenticity. Well, I don't get it. The owner gets it. He just sent it with me. Here's the other cable. Who does that? Who provides a certificate of authenticity? Built and tuned by hand in San Diego. San Diego, which means a whale's vagina. And oh, by the way, the inside of the box says enjoy with an exclamation mark. I don't like when I'm yelled at to enjoy things. I'll enjoy things at my own pace. Thank you very much. I would prefer enjoy, comma, or not. You know, just a little more inclusive to people who don't want to enjoy things. I will say, however, one thing that's I prefer this action here, because it doesn't fold. This feels nice and smooth, and because this does fold and it has joints here and joints there, this sort of feels stiff. Like you can go all the way down, but it just like I think it's tight enough that if you use these for several years, which I'm imagining for their price you would, that would loosen up and fit. Like the pad hits like right there. And like when you go like that, it's like you could actually just fold like you're not supposed to fold them like that, but you can. You're supposed to fold them like that, which is, again, I just fucking love that. Yeah, no, sound quality wise, what do I have in there? Nothing currently. Let's undo nothing. I'm just gonna go with the most basic, just the soft. And this really isn't gonna do much. I don't think these are I wish they came, what's odd is they give you a thicker piece of this foam with the Aeon Open X. And I wonder if that was Drop's doing. If Drop like was tuning it with like, oh, you need to put thicker foam here. Because when I run these, what I run in this is the white single notch and then the foam over it like that. That's what I like in the Aeon Open X. And in these, I can't decide what I like. See, this still has like a very bulbous low end. But I said it was over. It's not. It's great. It's fucking great. It fucking sounds great. These are, I mean, they're almost the same price as the old Ethers are now. So you're like, it's a trade-off. Size and newness and tuning. Ooh. Gotta crank this up because what are we listening to? Beethoven, the London Classical Players, Norrington, Symphonies number 4 and 5, number 5, OP 21. I Allegro con Brio, Symphony number 5. Wow, there's somebody. I'd never find this if I looked for it. Yeah, no. I can safely say not many headphones are designed to play that particular track. These are. Damn, Oscar, you look good. All right, I completely accept these, and I look forward, hopefully APOS, now that APOS has these in stock, can send me the open back version. I'm obviously going to have to send these back to the user, and I'll have to just try to imagine the fire when I do the open backs. But I fully endorse this. And I still fully endorse this. Actually, since I have these, it'll be more of a direct comparison once I get the open back version of these to go against these. Because these are still cheaper than those. It's a little bit softer. There's just subtle differences. He uses the same type of wire. I think this is probably the nicer wire than the Mr. Speed's case. Yeah, look, this comes with like the thin. Look at this. It's practically anemic with plastic. Kind of shit is that? But yes, yeah. Links to these tuning events. I wonder if those will have something to put over them if you pull these apart. Very much appreciate the new update to the Aeon 2s. The Aeon 1s I couldn't give a shit about. I just didn't give a shit about the Aeon 1s. And I'm sure people have modded them to probably sound similar to Aeon 2s, but something new and better in this. And here, I'll do this for you guys before we pack them away. Because this is how you're going to do it when you're on that 12-hour flight to Tokyo. Going to a maid cafe in Akihabara. You're going to go... And I was confused, by the way, because what the hell is that? Oh, Dan Clark Audio. Ah. See, this one says Dan Clark. I still have... that'll say Mr. Speakers forever. Therefore, it's the best. Asuka. Link to the wallpaper in the description. If you'd like to find the artist that drew this, please try saucenow.com or IQDB. Just pop that son of a bitch in the website and it'll take you to Pixiv or wherever else to find the artist. This channel is supported by viewers like you. It's like PBS, only way expensive headphones instead of children's books. That is Subscribestar and Patreon. Both have the same benefits. Both at $5 a month will let you see these reviews early. Ask me any questions you want on platform, and you beautiful bastards, I'm not going to... No. Stop. And let you participate in the yard sales. Now, nothing on this desk going in the yard sale. I'm basically keeping these until I'm bored with them in 2026. You can quote me on that. I'll see you in 6 years. 2026 these might have been the yard sale, but not right now. But other things that I've reviewed or have reviewed or companies sent or I've purchased just to compare against things like those are gorgeous, will be in the yard sales. And anyone in $5 tier on either platform can participate. Ask me any questions you want on platform. Like I said, try to keep the questions like short, so at least you and I can have a dialogue. Don't dump a exposition wall on me about your whole history and then expect me to like get to that, because I just put that to the side and live my life. I will get to your question though all the time. And if you think that is too slow and too mediocre, there is a huge behind the scenes Telegram chat where you can participate in conversations about how there was one today about the differences between a current mode amplifier and a non-current mode amplifier, and it was forever, and I learned a bunch. So if you want to hang out behind the scenes, get to make decisions for this channel, see things way early, and know my opinion about stuff the day it happens, the $10 Telegram chat is the way to go. Again, available on both Subscribestar and Patreon. Some people don't like the politics of Patreon, and Subscribestar exists, so there you go. Anything else I got to talk about? Link to the hard audio cables. Don't forget that, Zeos, because I'm sure people are going to be lined up around the block to get the clown-colored freaking kit. This would be okay if it was just the Crayola one, but then you just mix. Every time I pull that cable out, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Anyway, we good here? I'm good here. You're good here. Sound demo for these in the description. Yeah. I don't know how well they're going to record. It's planar. Planar does weird things. Anyway, see you tomorrow.